Loud boy. Loud boy. This is a friend's gun. He's letting us do a little work on it for some new products that we're working on. And that was my first time shooting the Staccato XC. Gun has a sticker price of 4,200 bucks. Just initial thoughts, initial observations on this gun. It's a lot lighter than it looks. It's got a big old chunky port compensated barrel, which I like. Soft shooter, very, very, very soft shooting gun. The actual action of the firearm almost has like a lag to it as you're shooting it. Like if I run this gun really fast, it kind of feels like I can't get it to go crazy fast, but it's such a consistent firing pistol. I mean, it feels like it's riding on ice. It really is a nice feeling gun. I've got big hands, so the grip feels good to me. The undercut of the trigger guard forces you to have the correct grip and not ride too far forward on it, which is also nice. The controls don't get in the way of your palm, so you're not gonna accidentally bump safeties or slide stops into position, which I also think is good. The safety is really easy to use, tactile, easy to knock down. It already has a fairly good enhanced magazine well built into the injection molded lower receiver. And then they have a aluminum flared mag well add-on. Just got a pin that you knock out from right to left. Initial impressions, it looks good, feels good. Trigger is nice and short and crisp. The brake is nothing. For a $4,200 gun, I would like to see not a plastic trigger. It has a little plastic injection molded trigger. Not that that's a problem. It's a 1911. There's very little movement on a 1911 or a 2011 style trigger. But for 4,200 bucks, I don't know. I just don't like plastic triggers when in nice, super high-end guns. That's just me though. This gun has a 509T, not the X2, but the original. It's actually my first time running this optic as well. I don't mind it. Closed emitter. The new ones are a little bit better field of view. It's a nice feeling gun. So we're gonna run it. We're running it out of our very new, brand new A&R design, 2011 Staccato specific holster. This is the X300 AIWB. We haven't tested it with other 2011s on the market yet, but this fits the XC, the P, the C, and the C2. Right now on our website, we have the P and the XC listed. The P is a 4.2 inch barrel. I think the C or the C2 is like a 3.9. We're not gonna make a C specific barrel length holster. We always recommend, with A&R design holsters or any holsters, we always recommend going the size up on a concealed carry sized gun so that you have more pelvic contact or body contact. The more length of slide that's in contact with your body, the more vertical the gun stays. The shorter the muzzle and the more weight up top, the gun will tip away from the body. So having extra length to your gun, or at least your holster, even if your gun doesn't, and you have the capabilities to run a bigger holster, we do always recommend size up to a bigger holster. That's a meaty boy. But I mean, you can see all that muzzle length. I mean, if you wanted to conceal carry this gun, I'd probably take the flared magwell off. That's the only thing that's really printing. Everything else is fairly concealed. So again, you can probably conceal carry this gun no problem. And it's not so uncomfortable. I mean, yeah, kind of sucks to touch your toes. Sitting in a car, it's not too bad. I wouldn't want to do it for too long. What I have found for myself is carrying an X300 AIWB for long periods of time when I'm driving standard. I pinch a nerve in the inside of my leg and I lose all the feeling in the outside of my leg on the skin. So I find that really interesting. So I don't carry X300s too much, but for the sake of this video, this is one of the ones that we got done. This is the configuration that the owner has on their pistol. So I'm gonna run it as is. Put some more rounds through it. We're at like 26 yards. ride my guns a little high, so I got high on that grip, but it worked out. My delay on the trigger is just finding that dot, getting used to that dot. Let's go for a 50 yarder. Right on. Got it. Yeah. Bad drop. I've been carrying a single action high power from Mark III firearms lately, so I've been working the single action guns and loving them quite a bit more these days. Another observation, I got big hands. Someone in the comments said, all YouTubers have big hands, and they always say they do. I thought that was a funny observation. Magazine release. If I'm shooting, bang, 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 I can't get to it. I gotta change my grip just a little bit, which is not too bad. There's no texturing on it, not a big deal to me. I'm sure they have other safeties you can swap them out to. It's just a peg. It's not too hard for me to get to. I do have to change my grip a little bit, which as it protrudes the outside of your hand, my fingers are kind of hitting it. So I'm not fighting it, it's just enough to push it. But it is a very stiff mag release. And you gotta change the position on your hand. When you go for your reload, if you wanted to do a one-handed slide drop, you'd have to change it quite significantly in your hand. So things to consider when you have one of these guns, feed that gun, and you're gonna have to do support side slide drops, because that's a lot of girth. It's a very long forward to rear grip to get around, to get that. My hand's in this position now, and then to drive the gun back and get that grip. So I would advise when you go for that reload, go for the support side slide drop. And probably practice that if you choose to carry one of these guns. Now, I don't have the C2 or the C to compare to this. I don't know if they have smaller grips, but let's hope they do. It's kind of hard to get to. We plan on coming out with magazine carriers at some point. We tried testing them. You can see they're skinny, and they get skinny and have this long taper. Very interesting magazine. We tried our magazine shells that we use for most 9mm magazines that we make mag carries for, and they kind of work, but they don't work well. So we would have to design a magazine-specific mag carrier for the Staccato. And from what I was looking on the internet, there's not too many of those that exist. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. It's a very large mags for 20 rounders, you know. That's a big magazine for 20 rounds. This is a mixed batch of 115 grain. I think there's some Mag Tech and some Winchester in here. Let's do some reloads. If you've never done reloads, you want to do 1R1s the easy way and not look like a bozo on the range. Put a round in the chamber, empty mag goes in, bang, slide lock, now you have a full mag to feed it with. Easy way to run your practice. Faster and more efficient. watching it slide lock back up the front, because it has a feeling to it. It has this like ka-tonk, ka-tonk, chonky boy feeling. Bang, 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 bang. Feels as though it's chunky, but it's not. It's smooth. It's just, once you get that gun running, it's quick. And it's got a nice cadence to it, smashing that trigger. But it feels different, and it's not a bad difference. Timmy was like, I want to buy Jorge's Alien. He goes, compare it to the Alien. You can't compare anything to the Alien. Thank you, ET Gear Co., our new dealer out of Hutto, Texas, for supplying us the gun for the test and for the holster development and some mods that I'm helping him with. So thank you so much for helping us out. Check out ET Gear Co. out of Hutto, Texas. I'm gonna go. I really want one. Have one on order. Staccato, hurry the fuck up. That was smooth. I think I dropped maybe 1 or 2 shots the entire time. I want one. Things to consider, compensated gun. You're gonna carry this gun for how much you see blowing out the top of that gun. Just remember, you draw that gun close retention, all that is coming up your face. It'll rattle your fucking world. So keep that in mind. A lot of people carry compensated guns. They're like, well, I shoot it better. It makes me a better shooter. Shoot from close retention against a target like this, that's some nasty shit. Shoot this in a vehicle. Take a vehicle class, a pistol combatives vehicle class. Shoot this in a vehicle. Shoot this in a vehicle while you are blasting holes in a windshield and all that glass particulate is flowing around you. You're wearing eye pro, ear pro. Compensated guns are great for range play and competition, but try doing some concealed carry, close quarters, indoor shit with it. Take your ears off. Not condoning taking your ears off, but you'll never do that again. You'll never want to do so. Just things to consider with compensated guns. Yes, they do give you an advantage. There's a lot of military units that carry compensated guns, but guess what? They wear ear pro. You know, if they're carrying this gun on their hip and they're breaching a door, they're probably wearing OpsCore amps or Peltors or something with comms cut in, and they have ear pro on, and they're communicating with each other, and they don't have to worry about that compensator in the tight quarters. So it's cool stuff. I want one. I want one as a range toy to shoot the fuck out of. I don't know if I'd ever carry a compensated gun like this concealed. It's just a lot of pressures exhausting near you. So just food for thought. They make for fun shooters though. Thank you again, ET Gear Co. out of Hutto, Texas, for letting us use this for holster development. What a nice gun. The Staccato 2011 XC compensated gun. It's just, you can hear it, it's like glass. The texturing on the injection molded grip is nice. The back strap texturing is nice. It still has grip safety. One thing I hated about the old STIs was they were really boxy back here. Some of the features back here were very boxy, and shooting it really beat up my thumb. I don't have that issue with the Staccatos, so that is nice to not have that issue anymore. Grip is big, fits my hand really well, easy to manipulate. You gotta use your support side for controls. The slide cuts are really grippy. There's no way you're never not gonna be able to grab this gun. It's a super flat shooter, single position accessory rail, mag release. It's a little stiff, and it's a little harder to get to if you have smaller hands, but I don't know, I don't think you can change that. I think that's kind of set in stone in a 2011 platform. That's pretty much my only complaint is support side manipulation of the slide stop, and a little bit of more gross movement of my primary shooting hand to get to the mag release. That's pretty much it. You know, it'd be nice to see an aluminum trigger, but whatever. Outside of that, great gun. I want one. I'm gonna fucking shoot this more. We have holsters available on our website right now, non-light bearing, X300, and we're working on TLR7 alphas and TLR1s. We have hole patterns going down the slides now, so you can add other belt clip attachments. Put a G-code tuck strut underneath the claw, over the claw, and one over there. There's options here. Thank you for watching.